Hey, everybody, how you doing? Well, that's good. Welcome to PHLY Flyers, presented by Coors Light. This Coors Light pregame show is it's going to be a real fun one, JP, because we have the Four Nations Faceoff.
That's right.
Rosters to talk about. Lot of crossover tonight. Of course, if you want Coors Light delivered or to find a store near you, you got to visit CoorsLight.com/PHLY Hockey. My name is Bill Matz. I'm your director of fun and games for the evening. Joining me is, that's right, it's the star of the Anthony Gargano show, JP Zapata. What's going on tonight, my friend?
What's happening? I haven't been on that show for a couple of days. I've been with the Sixers guys since Saturday, so I'm happy to talk about the other winter sport here tonight.
That's got to be a lot of fun covering that team.
Oh, dude, it's rough. And last night, of course, we can't criticize Maxey, so hopefully tonight we don't have to criticize Michkov because he's been exciting.
Absolutely, and that was one of the things we talked about the other day. Like, you know what would make this Four Nations a lot more fun? If it was like 6 and Russia was involved, because the main character of our team would potentially be playing in that. And we'll get into a little bit of that because the Panthers have 8 representatives going to the Four Nations. Flyers have 3 of their own, but tonight the two teams will meet in South Philly. Charlie down there at the Wells Fargo Center. He'll be joining us in postgame. But right now, the lineup, it doesn't look like we're going to see many changes tonight, JP. The only difference between, when was the last time they played? Like 5 days ago? Was it Saturday?
Feels like a week, yeah.
It feels like forever. The only difference in tonight's lineup versus last week's, Ivan Fedotov gets the start in net, so he's back in after Kolosov started the last game. Sam Ersson is cleared, and I'm waiting to see if he'll be backing up tonight, or if Kolosov remains in the rotation for now. But we will find out about that in just a little bit. But I want to talk about some of the lines that we do know, starting with that top line: Sean Couturier with Joel Farabee and Travis Konecny. Joel Farabee will factor in to tonight's bets. A little more on that later. But TK, of course, named one of the 3 Flyers representatives. He's going to be representing Team Canada at the Four Nations Faceoff. He has been awesome this season. 30 points in 25 games. Everything you could ask for.
Yeah, dude, what a story. I mean, having Travis Konecny in there, and like we've talked about it before, like he's been the best player on the team over the past couple of years. To get that recognition from your nation, right? Like it's an honor that you literally can't describe. And so it's gonna be really cool to see him play with Team Canada, bring a little of that tenacity to Team Canada as well. But I feel really, really proud of Travis Konecny here with this one. Absolutely.
I thought there was a chance TK could make it, but you just look at that forward group and it's, yeah, maybe not. Like it's Team Canada. There's no shame in not making Team Canada. And I thought Travis Sanheim, just because of the minutes he's played, he plays in all situations. There was a real possibility for him. He's got some size, not the most physical guy, but you can put him in a lot of different situations. Thought maybe he had a leg up, but it looks like both will be going. But right now, you see this top line. Sean Couturier, he's been scoring a little bit lately. That's great to see. Travis Konecny's been great all season. And then on that left wing, Joel Farabee. Joel Farabee, it's been a little bit for Joel Farabee. Hasn't really been able to produce a ton of offense. Even with that line producing, he just hasn't really been able to get much going. Has not scored a goal since the last time the Flyers played the Panthers, all the way back on the 9th of November. It's been almost a month since his last goal. He has, let's see here, 2 points since the start of November. Not exactly lighting the world on fire, but you look at the opportunities he's getting. He's had his role increase now joining that top line. I'm almost starting to feel bad for the guy. Like, you just need to finish, man. You're producing all these chances. You're on the ice for some goals you're just not really getting the points yourself. But at the same time, bro, you're getting paid $5 million to help produce goals, and it just isn't happening for you. I just want to see him get it going a little bit.
Dude, I don't even know what it is. The thing is like we talk about Joel Farabee all the time, and like obviously he's on when he's playing that physical style of play, right? But like, I want to see some of that skill. Like I've told you before, like there was lines where he was with like Kevin Hayes and Scott Law, and I saw like some skill from Joel Farabee. And where is that at this point right now, though, Bill? Like this dude needs to get a goal. Like this dude needs to get off the scoring skid. And so any way possible, let's get that goal. And I think, Bill, you were trying to tell us something there with the last time you scored a goal.
I actually don't have him to score tonight. We'll get into the bets. It's I'm done. I might be done with anytime goal bets because I'm just jinxing everyone. Like I'm looking at, I have this pattern in my head of like, okay, Matvei Michkov, when he's got days off, he's real freaking good. And they've had a bunch of days off now. And he's already seen Florida once, so he kind of knows what they're going to throw at him. This line with Owen Tippett and Morgan Frost was, I thought, really good last game. After 2 games ago, they were garbage, benched for most of the third period.
Good turnaround.
Charlie and I, when we talked about it, we're both kind of like, I think Owen Tippett was actively bad. I think Morgan Frost wasn't very good, and Mish was just kind of a victim of, the other 3 lines are playing really well against the Rangers, so tough luck. And then in the following game, all 3 of them I thought played really well, and Michkov obviously had the big game. I kind of hope for that to keep going right now, and we'll see. But it's that top line. They've been fun to watch, but maybe need a little bit more here. But yeah, even with Michkov having the days off, I'm like, I can't, if I bet on him and he doesn't score, now I can't do it for the rest of the season. Like I have to, like he's Macklin Celebrini really coming on. We need Michkov to stay hot so he can fight off that challenge for the Calder race.
That's right.
I can't do it to him. I can't possibly do this to Matvei Michkov, so he won't factor in. But I'll tell you, there's a few Russians, honestly, first-year guys. We can't, I don't think, call Ivan Fedotov a rookie because he doesn't qualify as one just based on age restrictions. But it's his first year in the NHL. And, man, when you talk about the couple of games he got into last year when he just first came over and it was like, well, we don't have any goalies. Good luck. You're going in. It didn't go so well outside of maybe the first game against Montreal. And then to start this year, first 3 games, 0-3-0. With an .821 save percentage. Mm-hmm. Kind of like, oh, man, this is a disaster. Kolosov comes up when Ersson gets hurt, and it's like, yeah, we're giving Coley a look right now. That might be it. I was thinking around this time, like, by Christmas, could Fedotov be back in the KHL? Are they going to figure out some sort of contract termination just because this isn't going to work? We talked so much, like, listen, with his cap hit, you could send him to the minors. Like, you can waive him. No one's claiming him on waivers. Suddenly, maybe not the case. Last 6 games, going back to that Florida trip last month when he came in and played against Tampa Bay, 4-1-1 with a .909 save percentage. Now, it's not like he's been phenomenal, but when the league average is like 900, 901, and he's at 909, he has been everything you could ask for a 28-year-old rookie. He has been really, really good. And suddenly it's like Flyers might have 3 guys, and they might have to roll with it for as long as they can possibly make it feasible.
Not a bad problem to have, Bill. Not at all, having 3 guys here. It's tough. Obviously, like with Fedotov, like you judge him like in a different like eye lens, right? Because he is a little older, but obviously like he's getting acclimated to the NHL. And so, like, I think that what we're seeing right now, Bill, is a combination of 2 things. Number 1, he's getting more acclimated to the NHL. He's feeling more comfortable between the pipes. But number 2, defensively, we've seen much better production from the 3 pairings, no matter who's playing in those pairings. And so I think when you mix that all together, you're seeing what it is. And, dude, this is a great thing to have. Like, we rarely ever have this, especially over the last 20 years with the Flyers.
No, it's especially in terms of depth. Like, we all remember the year, I believe they used 8 goalies a few years ago in one season. It was just, let's grab a guy off waivers. Let's see if anyone in the stands brought their pads with them. Like, it was a disaster. And now you actually have, if nothing else, you have contingency plans. Because while I know there are probably some fans out there who are like, listen, and Charlie and I have said this, the easiest way to, like, stealth tank, like tank without trying to tank, man, just throw bad goalies in there. Because if your goalies are bad, it doesn't really matter how good everyone else is. Like, we saw it with, we've seen it over the last couple of years with the Edmonton Oilers. Edmonton is the best player in the world. And when they can't get a save, that doesn't even matter. Like, it's like, yeah, and then they lost 5-4.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, right?
And that's just kind of the way it goes. And while it's like, yeah, all right, losing games, not the worst thing, it does become borderline impossible to evaluate everyone else when, hey, man, everyone had their guy and the shot from, like, outside of the circle somehow went in. Like, it's really hard to evaluate everybody in that situation. The goalies taking this step is at least like, all right, and now we get to see what Emil Andre really is.
Yes.
Like, he's not -6 for no reason. If he has a bad game, it'll show up. And if he has a good game, we'll notice, because it's like, yeah, man, the goalies made saves when they were supposed to. So it wasn't a disaster, even with him doing a good job. And I think that's given everyone else confidence. And suddenly we see this team looks the way they looked for the first 2/3 of last season.
Yeah. The other beneficial thing about this too, Bill, is that you are giving play to Fedotov. You are giving play to Kolosov. And those guys, listen, the only way you're going to get better, Bill, is going out there and going through the grind of it. And I think this has been super beneficial. Obviously, we want Sam Harrison back, and we'll see what the deal is if he's going to be on the bench here tonight. But, I mean, right now, giving these guys play, it's the best thing possible.
And looks like we do have lines. Jordan Hall just tweeted them. So it is going to be Coots with Farabee and TK, Frost with Tippett and Michkov, Cates between Forster and Brink. Really like the chemistry that line's put together over the last few games. And Paling centering Lawton and Hathaway. And then on defense, York Sanheim, Andre, Risto, Sealer, Zamula. So no changes, no real surprises here. Basically what we've grown accustomed to over the last few games. And the Flyers have looked good, so why change it?
Yeah. I mean, dude, you know me. I love that fourth line, man. Forward check all day, baby. Let's go.
Listen, it is any team would be happy with that fourth line.
For sure,
absolutely. But there are a few guys. We've seen some real positive signs out of Bobby Brink and Tyson Forster lately. Really like seeing them combine for a couple of goals over the last few games. You know, Tyson Forster against the Rangers blocks a shot, makes a great play to get the puck down the ice. Gets it over to the middle for Brink. Brink finishes it against Shesterkin. Great stuff. Next game, Brink gets a great opportunity, and Forster cleans up the rebound. Really good to see them working off of each other, creating for each other. And those are two guys. Charlie and I talked about this with Kelly yesterday. Yeah, nothing really matters but Michkov. Like, there's other stuff, but if dudes like Forster and Brink and Andre don't work out, this thing's going to take so much longer than we're hoping, and it's good to see them getting in a rhythm too.
Yeah, it would be. I mean, listen, again, like Bill said, obviously right now all eyes are on Michkov, and we're hoping that he takes the steps that he obviously is doing right now. But yes, finding out what you have in Forster, finding out what you have in Brink is so big, and I love that third line. A nice young, spunky young line, like that's awesome to see. Obviously, Brink and Forster getting that chemistry with Kate. So, dude, we got to figure out what we have with some of these young kids as well. See if they could be beneficial to us.
And it's an opportunity for Noah Cates to play with some guys who have offensive upside. Yeah. If there is another layer of Cates' offensive game, we'll see if it comes out playing with them. So I like the combinations right now. Ultimately, I really want to see Konecny and Michkov together. But it just doesn't seem as if either is really all that interested in playing the left side. And so be it. Having two guys on separate lines, it does make it tougher for the defense to kind of put all of their eggs in, okay, well, we have to stop this guy. On tape, I'm sure you're looking at Michkov and going, we can't let this guy beat us. He does so many different things. It's amazing. But who leads the team in scoring? It's Travis Konecny. And Sean Couturier, he's going to get probably all of the top-line matchups. You want him out there against the other team's best players more times than not. So it's a little bit of a balancing act, especially when another team is on the road. How do you deploy your top defensive pair? And that just opens up more opportunities, not just for the Michkov line, but for the Cates Forster Brink line as well.
Well, for the Michkov line, more importantly for Michkov, a point that you always bring up, what I'm really excited about tonight So Michkov always steps up in these type of matchups. It's the Florida Panthers. It's the reigning champs. And he obviously wants this type of matchup here. So that's what I'm really looking forward to tonight, especially in our own barn.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
It's a few days off now for Mish, and was this one of the 2 games he missed, I believe?
Like, right, because it was Carolina,
it was
Florida,
Carolina
and Tampa,
he
right?
played, and it was Florida, Tampa. It was those last 2 games of the road trip. So it was the Lightning and the Panthers that he missed against. So this is his first shot against the defending champs.
So
we will see how he does, and that brings us to tonight's bets. This pregame pick segment is brought to you by Bet365. Use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, so we have a Joel Farabee bet tonight.
There we go.
And we're playing it safe. Joel Farabee over 2.5 shots at plus 150. Listen, you're looking at plus money on a guy who last game played over 18 minutes. He's been on the top line the last few games.
They get 3 shots last game, too.
3 shots on goal, at least in his last 5 games.
There you go.
19 shots on goal and 28 attempts in these last 5 games. He has the puck. He has the puck around the net. One might say, all right, well, that means he's due to score. I don't know if he's ever going to score again. I have no freaking idea if Joel Farabee is ever going to score another goal for the rest of his career. Dude. But he's getting plenty of opportunities, and we're going to try to cash in on those opportunities with a shots on goal bet tonight. He's over 66% expected goals in all situations in these last 5 games. That means he's always on offense.
Yeah.
Like the Couturier line with TK and Farabee is in the offensive zone almost exclusively, over 65% of the time. He's going to get the shots. I just have to believe he gets 3 shots on goal tonight. Over 2.5 is plus 150 over at Bet365, and I will absolutely take that. So that's our lone bet tonight. Farabee
gods,
over.
Please do a solid for Joel, please.
I had him to score last game, and 2 breakaways on 1 shift doesn't put. Everyone at some point scores their final NHL goal. It may have already happened for Joel Farabee. This is the reverse jinx you're all looking for. I didn't bet him to score tonight, and I'm saying he's never going to score again. Last time he scored was against these Panthers. Put it together yourself. Connect these dots and maybe go put some money down at Bet365.
I'm nowhere near.
I'm not going to actually say what I'm thinking.
I'm nowhere near saying that Joel Farabee's washed. I think that he will get out of this. I do think. But
he has to. He's better than this. He's playing well.
Bill, I'm like getting PTSD of Cam Atkinson last year because we were hoping he would score.
I'll tell you, that is... it's crazy because like Joel Farabee's 25 and Cam Atkinson was in like year 20 last year. It is crazy though to think about all the opportunity. Eventually, it was just like he's done, Cam Atkinson. But for the first half of the season, he was getting all the opportunities, all the breakaways and odd man rushes and shots that you could ask for. He was doing everything you wanted except finishing. And now that's where we are with Farabee. Listen. Farabee is a really good player. Maybe they end up trading him one day. Maybe he turns it around. He is like the only natural left winger in the top 9. Right. So it's like it behooves both parties to figure this thing out.
Yes.
Like the Flyers need Joel Farabee to figure it out because they have no left wingers. Like Joel Farabee's under contract here. He's not like an official captain, but he's one of the leaders of this team. He's well liked in the room.
He's a vet.
Yeah, he is a veteran. I mean, he's been here a long time now. Yeah, like it makes sense for both sides to just kind of stick it out and hope it works. I'm just rooting for him now. Like I'm starting to feel bad for him. Like I said, like it's almost comical that you can have as many opportunities as he's had over the last few games and not put a puck in the net. Yeah, it's just like one will bounce off his ass and go in. Like that's what's bound to happen now.
Use the booty, Bill. Use the booty.
Any way you can get one, you got to get one in the
yeah, dude. He's
the NHL.
He's still young. Yeah, he's bound to break out of this. And like we talked about before, like you've seen so many glimpses of the skill and what Joel Farabee can be offensively, and he's right there. He's putting in the work. He just got to get it in net, man.
All right, and that brings us to the 4 Nations Faceoff talk tonight. There's going to be 8, 9, 10, 11 players on the ice tonight who will be in the February tournament. And listen, I think there are some people who are like, this is just made up nonsense. I'll tell you, we all thought that about the World Cup in 2016, the World Cup of hockey. And then it ended up being really fun. And these are hockey players. They don't know how to, like, not try hard unless it's the All-Star game, because that's, like, obvious nonsense. But the hockey always ends up being a lot better than you expect in these tournaments. Players really, really dig getting to represent their country and everything.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's a cool honor, and it is basically an audition for the 2026 Olympics. Like, the NHL is going to the Olympics. All signs point to it. So this is kind of an appetizer for that. And the Flyers, as we mentioned yesterday, 4 representatives. There was one person who responded to us on Twitter when we congratulated the 3 reps. Like, oh, the Tortorella disrespect. Like, he's an assistant coach, and it was named in, like, August. Like, it was by no means a surprise. And he's the assistant coach. Who cares? Listen, great honor again, but, like, honestly, come on. So Flyers, TK, Sanheim, and Risto for Finland, TK and Sanheim for Canada. Great honor for both of them. It's really cool. If you saw the quotes over the last couple of days, TK and Sanheim, good friends. They get to do it together. That'll be cool. And they'll be with, it's funny. It's the Travii on one side, and for the Panthers, Sam Reinhart and Sam Bennett. The 2 Sams for the Panthers will be on Team Canada.
That's so funny.
So it's the Travii versus the Sams tonight. They'll be teammates at the tournament, but tonight opponents. Also for the Panthers, Matt Tkachuk on Team USA, Gustav Forsling for Sweden, and 4 Finns. Wow. So Risto out there against a whole bunch of teammates tonight. Sasha Barkov, Esa Lindell, Anton Lundell, and Eetu Luostarinen, all for Finland. This is it's a nice little preview here. It's the day after the rosters get announced. Get a little intermingling of all these guys we're going to get to see play with and against each other in a couple of months.
I know. Are we going to get some, like, maybe friendly jabbing here and there, you know?
I wonder. It'll be cool just
like friendly scrum.
Like, it'll be cool just to see like Risto out there with, 4 dudes who he might be sharing the ice with, might be sharing a locker room with.
It is always a fun dynamic.
What happens when they're all crowding Ivan Fedotov at one point tonight? It'll be cool to see. But I'm oddly, I didn't think I was going to care about this tournament at all, and I'm oddly excited for it just because it's been so long since we've truly seen best on best. And yeah, like, it would be a lot better if Russia was in it, if Czechia was in it, like the other actual hockey nations. As much as it's like, yo, we're not going to get to see Leon Draisaitl, it's like, all right, man. Name 5 other Germans. Dennis Seidenberg has been retired a while. Like, you're not really missing anything there. But Russia and Czechia, they're really good. But for the 4, I mean, it's all NHL players. It's not, oh yeah, well, this guy, like, he's been on the team for 20 years, so he's got to go because it's the Olympics. No, it's just all the NHL's best players playing under their flag. I'm pretty pumped for it,
dude. You're when guys are wondering about other European nations. I'm wondering where we're gonna get another nation that's not North American or Europe. I want a Cool Runnings type of team there. It'd be so cool, like a warm country competing in a hockey tournament.
It would be really cool to see, like, because we've seen, like, especially at the college level, a lot of the Sun Belt, and, like, obviously, like, 4 of the last 5 Stanley Cup winners have been, like, non-traditional markets. 2 in Tampa, Vegas. Obviously the Panthers tonight, like, non-traditional hockey markets. Like, it's taken off, and you see in college a lot of the Sun Belt area teams joining D1 and kind of building up. I would love to see just some other nation kind of make that rise up and maybe get into the 2026 or the 2030 Olympics. Like, that would be a lot of fun.
The Colombian Hockey Federation follows me on Instagram, so maybe one day.
Hey, you could be there. You could be one of their top representatives, JP. Like,
I'm in.
Yeah, how many? how many Colombians are in hockey media, like in North America?
Well,
There's not a ton, I would guess.
I think Scotty Gomez had a little Colombian in it. He was full.
Okay, all right.
I'll have to double check on that. But yeah, we're coming, guys. We're coming.
I hope so. I would love to see some other nations really push because, like, yeah, I just named 6. Like, who's like Switzerland? Okay, yeah, all right. But it would be cool to get a few more in there. I mean, I tell this story all the time because I always love Belarusian players like Alexei Kolosov, and it was years ago. I must have still been in middle school, and like Belarus played a good Olympics. They like played a tough game. They lost to Canada, but they like played a tough game. And one of my coaches, just like in practice, we're just like dicking around basically. He's like, you gotta want it. You gotta want it like Belarus. And like, it's just been a running joke in my life ever since then. Like, you know who tries harder than anyone? The Belarusians. Yeah, there you go. So you always have to.
It's a great saying.
I always want Belarus in the tournament, but it's like, we can't get Russia in the freaking tournament. I doubt we're gonna get their basically subsidiary. Like, it's tough. This is my views on nations and geopolitics are not necessarily the views of PHLY. I just don't know anything, so I make stuff up. Like, I think Finland and Sweden are the same place, and people get real mad at me for saying that. But like, come on. All right, I saw we have at least one super chat. All right, Gary B gets in on this one. I lost a 5-leg parlay on Joel Farabee not scoring. Listen.
Oh, man.
Listen, I get it, Gary. That's rough. Also, having any flyer in your parlay, like especially a goal scoring, I mean, but he is due. I guess if we're gonna, you probably got to make that up tonight by getting on Bet365, putting everything you didn't win on that parlay on Joel Farabee, and then you win twice. Basically, that's how it works. As Charlie would say, this is Bill math. This is why when we do the True Mark reads, like, I'm not lying. I don't understand how to make money.
Instead of girl math, it's Bill math.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. All right, before we get out of here, couple of things.
You're right. This was going to be a fun pregame.
It's always a fun pregame, especially for nights like tonight when I have no idea what to expect from this game. Last time they played Florida, it was tight. They end up losing, but it's kind of when the Flyers started playing well was the last 2/3 of that road trip when they went to Carolina, Florida, and Tampa. And now they've been playing some really, really strong hockey. So I just have no expectations after a few days off. I'm just hoping to see Michkov stand out. Want to see all these Four Nations guys play with and against each other. That'll be fun.
Oh, it'll be so much fun.
Yeah.
I want 4 in a row, Bill. Give me 4 in a row.
Absolutely. You know, they're on a winning streak.
That's right.
It's been cool to see. Let's see if they can extend it to 4. And before we get out of here, couple of things I need to sell you on. The most important, we only have a few tickets left for the PHLY Hockey Suite Takeover at the Wells Fargo Center. This is Saturday, January 11th. It's Flyers, Ducks. What does that mean to you? It means Cutter Gauthier is here.
That's right.
The showdown. Gauthier, I almost said Kolosov. Michkov, not Kolosov. Yeah, our rookie of the year versus maybe he's hot by then. It doesn't look like he's getting sent to the AHL. He was getting hot for a second there, was Cutter, and now he's right back to not scoring again. So we'll see how that goes. But it's gonna be a ton of fun. Yeah. Food and drinks in the suite all night. Come along with the ticket. I'm gonna be there. Charlie's gonna stop by. I'm told. Charlie's got to do his capital J journalism stuff. Kelly's gonna be there. It's gonna be a ton of fun. Food and drinks all night. Game ticket in a suite at the Wells Fargo Center. Hang out with us. What else can you ask for? Saturday, January 11th. Only a few tickets remaining, so go to allphly.com right now before this thing sells out. This isn't one of those sales tricks where it's like, oh, low stock. It's like, no, it's not. No, we only have like 2 or 3 left, so go check it out right now. And finally, Philly Sports Trip. Flyers takeover in Montreal. That's right. PHLY and Philly Sports Trips teaming up to go to Montreal at the end of the season. It's like one of the last games of the year, April 4th to the 7th, Flyers, Habs. We're going. You get airfare, stay in a hotel, all sorts of great stuff. Brian Prop's going to be there, all-inclusive tailgate for the game. You're not going to want to miss this one. Perfect gift for the Flyers fan in your life, or treat yourself. You know, it's the holiday season. You're giving. You're doing all this great stuff for everyone else. Hook yourself up. Why not? Philly, Montreal, in Montreal, take on those dirty, dirty Habs. Why not? April 4th to the 7th. That's also available at allphly.com.
Canadians suck. Montreal's not that bad.
Yeah, they're, it is what it is. The town really looks like fun. Kelly's getting like all these, she's picked out a bunch of spots. Charlie loves Montreal. It's one of his favorite cities to travel to. He's got a bunch of plans. In just a second, we got to finish the show first. That was good, right? Yeah. All right. And that is, come on out. Montreal, allphly.com. Find all the events on the events tab. You know what to do there. All right. And that is the PHLY Flyers pregame show presented by Coors Light. Visit CoorsLight.com/PHLY hockey to get Coors Light delivered or to find a store near you. We'll be back with postgame. Charlie will be joining us from the Wells Fargo Center. My name is Bill Matz. That's JP Zapata. Until then, let's go Flyers. Woo!
We all silly like the mayor.